Chronicles of Football podcast.
You know how it goes.
About the guests.
The guest we've got this week.
I mean, people, you know.
Chronicles of Football podcast. We're live inside. Yeah. We're ready to ride.
You know who this guy is.
We're always riding, never hiding.
I can't even. Like,
salute the sheets.
I'm gonna even introduce him.
Salute the sheets.
Yeah, how about that? He's gonna try to introduce himself, but I ain't even having it this time, people. Because every week he tries to introduce.
Go on.
Yeah.
You're gonna introduce me. Go for it.
It's J&O.
Come
on.
You know how it goes.
The one and only.
This is the J&O.
Never duplicated.
Come on.
Yeah, always on point.
Come on.
Listen to me.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going in.
Oh my God.
Guys, you know how it goes. Every week we bring you a special guest to liven up the place. Hold on, I'm not done, big. Every week we bring you a special guest to liven up the place. Hear their journeys and that. See what went down in their time.
Yeah, 100. Yes.
But before I announce the guest on the hot seat,
them bring-ins there, you know.
I gotta bring in my co-host.
It's getting better.
I gotta bring in the co-host.
People, it's getting better. I'm telling you.
The one and only big father from the south side.
Come on.
Yeah?
You know,
AKA,
you know,
father given the order. Yeah? Yeah? AKA Big D-R. Trust me.
What's happening, people? What's happening?
Come on, what's happening, bro?
What's happening, bro? You good? No.
You had to introduce me, but I had to bring you in.
Yeah, 100%. I like that feeling.
Yeah? Nah. Of course I had to bring him, but I'm not... What's going on with that top, though, bro? Like,
what?
You're...
Yeah,
no, forget that.
It's my youth's top.
Okay.
Is
that what we're doing there? Shall I back up that?
Just promoting the youth's top.
Okay. All right.
It's my youth's top. It's my youth.
Okay.
Letting them know he's official in the building, yeah?
Man, know what I am. I'm a red.
But
this is my youth. Wait. What? See?
What's good though? You good?
Tell me, bro. I'm good. Listen, excited about this one.
Excited
about this one.
More than excited.
Trust me.
Because it's close to home.
Believe.
Seen this guy for a good 4 years. Because we went to the same school.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? He's local because he's a South Sider.
Yep.
Yeah?
You know we can't help it, people. We can't help it.
So, I know people are rolling their eyes and that. So, we're just going to get into it and introduce the big man in the hot seat. Yeah?
Well,
so, without further ado.
It's
Mr. Ricky Shakes.
Come on, people.
Yeah?
Yes,
what's happening, sir? What's happening?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
Good.
Yeah?
We're here, man.
Can't complain.
You know.
Yeah, as long as you are keeping healthy, you know what I mean? That's
trying to stay corona free.
Yes.
You know,
trying to dodge.
Mask and
that. Apparently in the air, but you gotta weave them. But
you know that kind of use this.
You know what I'm saying? Just fan it to the side and
of course.
give it a little jab and it's coming. You know what I'm saying? But you know, glad to have you here today. Looking forward to letting us know what went down in your time.
Yeah, thank you, man.
So,
appreciate it.
How we always start is, why football?
Why football?
Yeah.
Well,
why not cricket? Why not netball?
You know what?
Why not the roads?
You understand?
Why not the roads?
Yeah.
Football dropped it.
Well, you know what? As you said, why not cricket? You know what I mean? Obviously, I'm Caribbean blood. But, you know, I weren't born in the Caribbean, so cricket weren't really my field.
Okay.
You know, but I think it first started from, obviously, knowing my dad used to play football, you know what I mean? When he was younger and played for Crystal Palace and stuff like that.
Oh, like that, yeah?
Yeah, and, you know, it got me into
big, or was
he started off in the academy.
Oh, right.
You know, and he didn't make it big.
Okay.
But I think that was just the stepping stone for me to,
of course,
you know,
a little inspiration.
Yeah, of course.
Foundation
you know?
sets.
And another thing, I think, you know what? My mum pushed me along as well along the way.
Good. Big up, mum.
You know, started me out in on Sunday League and stuff like that.
What age did you get into?
I was 8 at the time.
Okay.
8 at the time, so that was when I was primary school.
Yeah.
And I was going to Pimlico, Millbank in Pimlico.
Okay.
And found a little team there called St Andrews. So Sunday League team. They was in the Tangents League. Tangents League at the time.
We had a few.
So yeah, just played. You know what I mean? Playing that week in, week out. Sunday. You know, mums used to come and watch me every Sunday in the rain, in the snow. So I think that pushed me even more. You know what I mean?
Real Sunday league.
You know what I mean? You know, my mom's just there.
Mom's there.
Yeah.
It's always good to have that support there. man.
Exactly.
Inspiration.
You know what I mean? Waking me up in the morning, making sure I'm getting up and eating properly and everything like that. So as you said, that inspiration pushed me ahead. You know, and I think that's what started it out for me from there.
Oh, that's big up Mumsy for that, man.
100.
You know what I'm saying? Because I don't think people realise that the support network, even if it is Sunday League, it's always important.
Yeah, come on.
You know what I'm saying? Waking up, even if I said snow, rain, and then you just see the mum there, go on, Ricky. Yeah, like, it's just like them little things there. It's like,
how many what interviews have we had now? And there's a lot of people that have had to do a lot of things by themselves.
So the support network, I think it kind of helped build character for the person as
100%.
well.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? In a different way. Obviously, certain people react differently. But
to different things.
yeah, it gets like that. So through Sunday League football, playing at St Andrews, big up St Andrews as well. A few run-ins with them. But anyway, how did
where was the crossover?
Yeah, how did the crossover come from grassroots football to
Academy football?
Academy. Well, yeah. So obviously, secondary school. Big up Ernest Bevan, you know.
Of course.
You know.
I'm not a part of that.
You know what I mean? Man was a red
I'm
tie.
not
Yeah. Big up the blue tie, though, but we're still one family.
See, I'm
We're
not a
still
part
one
of that.
family.
See, I'm not a part of all of that.
We're still one family, but it's cool.
Yeah, you know, but obviously, still playing for St Andrews at the time.
Yeah.
And I was playing Saturday League for Providence
Okay.
as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was playing Saturday, Sunday, and school football.
Like that.
And then Charlton managed
Providence,
to
Clapham Common, red,
Yes.
red kit. Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you know what I mean. And I think Charlton found me along the way.
Yeah.
When I was playing, and when I was 15, that's when I went to Charlton.
Okay.
So I started off at 15. Yeah.
Relatively late.
Yeah.
Nowadays,
Yeah, so-
anyway.
yeah.
Because it's what a year or
That's
so
year 10,
before
year
scholar.
10.
Year 11.
Yeah, 11.
so
So you're going
he's going into
so
scholar.
you're going,
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I was year 11, like starting of year 11,
Yeah.
doing a year
All
right.
at Charlton.
Alright.
And you know, it was good. It was really good. You know, met a lot of different people. You know, what I mean, one of those ones, and it managed to go to the Milk Cup in Ireland.
Ireland, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man United's cup.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I went to the Milk Cup, and we won the Milk Cup that year.
That's not Man United's cup then, but
So we won the Milk Cup
Charlton
that year.
won it, yeah.
We played the finals. I'll never forget. Played the finals against Man City in the finals.
All right. Yeah.
And that's when who was there at the time? Bradley Wright Phillips. He was there.
Okay.
Yeah, so he was there at the time. Played against them, and we won on penalties. 8-7 on penalties.
See, the keepers are shocking.
Mate.
Keepers were going at it, bro.
Mate, you know, it was one of those ones where
Shocking.
I didn't want to be the first five to take the penalty. So
Obviously.
I was hoping, you know what I mean? Because it was my first time going to the Milk Cup, playing for Charlton as well. All those big things. I'm like,
of course, because you're not thinking it's gonna go past the 5.
yes.
But now it's gone past the 5. The pressure's turned up.
Exactly.
It's
Turn
knockout
up.
phase now.
Yeah, one of them
Who's
side
next?
glasses.
Yeah. Who's next? Who's next? You know what I mean?
Really?
Yeah. So, you know, I had to show a brave face
Yeah.
and step up and take a penalty. And I made sure I scored because, you know, that was sudden death.
Yeah.
So I scored my penalty. You know, it carried on. I think I was the 6th one.
Okay.
So I was the 6th penalty. Scored my one, and I just carried on going. And then once we won it, you know, I think that was the first relief of me winning something special.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And obviously for Charlton as well to go abroad in Ireland and to win something as well. And I think that was the first thing of me tasting victory.
All right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Something big, what means something to everything.
Of course.
And I still got the medal at home. You know what I mean? I still got
Them way
still
there.
got the medal at home.
That's hanging
Them
up.
way there.
Listen, I've got a frame now, and obviously I'm ready to hang up all my medals up, and
Yeah, that's good.
you know, and then
Put my thing
once
in.
I do all that, you know, I take a picture, send it to you, and you can post it up and
yeah,
say, you know
yeah.
what?
Yeah,
he's done
he's
his
not lying.
thing. Yeah, I'm not lying. Exactly.
Truths.
Yeah.
He's not lying.
Yeah. Truths.
That's big. So how did it turn out at Charlton in terms of, obviously you've gone in at year 11.
Done a year.
You've done a year.
So it's scholar now, isn't it?
Scholar now.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying in terms of decision, because they probably did it. I guess they made it within that year.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So they had
Normally
to
by
make a
December,
decision.
right?
They had to make a decision within that year, and they decided to release me.
Okay.
You know, they decided to release me, but they said to me, you know, they helped me out along the way and said, you know, we can send you to Lillishore to the exit trials.
All right, yeah.
You know?
Infamous Lily shit.
And you know, it was first thing I didn't know what it was all about.
Yeah.
You know, my mum didn't know what it was all about, so they explained to my mum that literally you go down there on camp, you're there for 4 days.
Okay.
And you just play around the games and stuff like that. And scouts are watching you.
Right.
A lot of scouts. He said scouts are watching you. I didn't know there was like over 100.
Oh yeah. Everyone from the country.
50 scouts
Yeah.
watching.
Everyone from the country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
I've been to one before.
Wow.
I've been to one a few years ago. I think they done it. Was it St. George's? No. It was Barnet. They done it at Barnet.
Okay.
And
At the
literally,
Hyde?
yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, the Hive, yeah. And the whole stand was like, whoever, like, say for instance, I'm like, we're brothers and I'm coming to watch you play.
Yeah.
So basically the spectators is on one side and the scouts was on the other side.
And there was more scouts.
Why was there more scouts than spectators?
Yeah.
Like obviously one or two stood out. Like obviously Chelsea like to wear their jackets.
Yes.
Like it's Dior.
Yeah.
And then you know what I'm saying. And then a few stood out, but you could see the little beanie hats and their jackets and pen and bit. I'm thinking,
Yes.
And they're right.
no, there's a lot of you. So yeah. I get that. I get that.
So so obviously it was intimidating at the start. You know what I mean? 'Cause I'm 15, 16.
Yeah.
You know, don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
So it's just one of them ones where you just got to play your heart out really,
Of course.
and just expect
See what
happens, see what
yeah.
goes ahead with it.
Yeah.
So I've done that, gone through that, and I got a letter in the post 2 weeks after, and it had a list. And when I tell you there was at least 100 teams interested in me to see me on that list, and me and my mum just going through the list, and we're like, whoa, I can't be visiting every single team.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean? I can't visit every
You
single
spent the
team.
whole season going to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Come on.
That's long.
So it was like, obviously, we just narrowed it down, and I said to my mum, what do you think's best for me?
Yeah.
And she just said to me, you know what? Why don't you try getting out of London? Come out of London. So
you can find him. You can find in your mum like that.
Yeah.
So you okay?
yeah,
that's
you
good.
know what I mean? Because I'm leaving school.
Yeah.
And everything. So I was thinking, all right, do I really want to find a London team or anything like
What's the
that?
next
And
step?
what's the next step? I'll be still living at home. I'll be still around my friends in the area still. You know what I mean? Like from Brixton. So you just think you got to weigh up yourself. Think if I really want to make this and really want to get out, what would be the best solution?
Yeah.
So I end up picking Bolton, Barnsley, and Bristol City. Right. Yeah. And I went to visit all three of them. So the first one I went to Barnsley. Went up to Barnsley, stayed a weekend up there. Nice facility. Down to earth people who was up there and stuff like that. So it was good experience.
Right.
Then I went to Bristol City, tried that out. Great experience there as well. Then I went up to Bolton, so Bolton Wanderers, and was there for a week. Tried it out, and it was one of those where, I fell in love straight away. I got up there, fell in love.
Bolton.
Bolton, yeah?
Bolton. I thought, you know what, this is for me. Because I just had a different feeling
When you went there.
when I went there. Just had a different feeling. You know what I mean? Like the players there, the coaches and stuff like that, and I felt comfortable. And I said to my mum straight away, yeah, I feel comfortable. I want to be up here. Yeah. She's like, are you sure? She's like, yeah. She's like, cool.
Oh.
It's up to you. That's your decision.
Yeah.
Go up there. Now you're going up there. Just do what you can do. So I picked Bolton.
So you. Sorry, go on. So you signed So you signed your scholar there.
Scholar. So
Okay.
a 3 year.
Three
3
year.
year scholar. So they were doing 3 years at the time.
All right.
Yeah. So they call it 3 year YTS.
Okay.
Yeah, YTS. So yeah.
I don't know if that would be a good thing now. It
could be.
It could be in terms of
But why wouldn't
state
it?
stability.
Hold on, wait. Why wouldn't it? Because if every boy
Yeah.
in the academy league
Yeah.
is under the same duress, in the sense of same money,
Yeah.
no one's getting anything different.
Yeah.
No
Yes.
one's getting anything less, but everyone's getting the same. Why would it be a problem?
No, I'm getting to that. So that makes sense in terms of it would make sense, but then where will be is it so you would have to make that mandatory and then at the third year you get offered a pro. So the argument of getting a pro at 17 would have to go out the window.
Go out the window.
Yeah, would have to go out the window.
But remember,
but then I think there might be a loophole in terms of a kid going abroad. I don't know what abroad is like. Unless
but then,
follow us.
but then,
you know what I'm saying?
But then
let's say follow us. Like it's like all leagues follow
this
each
is
other.
what he does. He always tries to go off on a tangent, but he's hit something here.
Okay, yes,
he's hit something
yes.
here. So where I'm coming from is also that, remember, from January the 1st, there's no longer any crossover.
Oh yeah,
so the boys from Europe can't come
over. Yeah.
So that also means that why can't certain boys go to 18?
Yes.
Because the pressure, I believe, is the European. Because the European comes over and he has to sign pro at 17. He has to, because he can't sign pro in any other country until he's 18.
Yes.
So he comes here and he signs at 17.
That's what I'm saying. So if we're all in sync, if we're all in sync, it might make sense.
It could.
Yeah.
But how everything goes, this is a money sport and there's billions in it, and man wants his piece of the kapai.
Yes, it's true. It's true.
And that's how it goes.
And that's how it goes. So you signed a 3 year there?
Yeah, so 3 year scholar there.
Right.
You know, done well, played in the reserves. When it came down to my 3rd year, so I was playing regularly in reserves as a right back. So I went there as a right winger, stroke striker.
Okay.
And at the time the reserve manager was Neil MacDonald at the time. So
Neil was West Ham.
Yes.
He was assistant manager at West Ham.
And he was a manager at Carlisle.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So he was a reserve manager, and he just said to me, you know what, I want you to play in right back position. You see how it goes. So I played in the right back position, done well, and literally just kept me in the team.
At right back.
How did you feel about that though?
You know what? It was...
Honestly,
because you're
waiting too long.
That was a big
That's
pause.
number one. You're waiting too long because you're thinking about it and that's trying to register what you're supposed to say.
You're going in as an attacking player.
I'm saying you're an attacker, and all of a sudden, man's telling you you're right back.
Yeah.
And remember, we're talking right back in when
we're talking
04, 04, 05.
Yes, 04.
So we're talking.
No, I went there year 2000, so I'm talking so it'd be 03 to 4.
So we're talking about, when we're talking about right backs, people, let's not get excited, because right now in the game, right backs are phenomenal.
Yes.
That England have got right now, they are phenomenal. Like, I can't even, whatever you like, you can find one. Do you know what I mean? From Trent to Wan-Bissaka, like, you'll find one. Trippier, like, you'll find one. Like, I wasn't even going to go to no Hector Bellerin.
But he's not English though.
Exactly, that was my point.
I mean,
so I
to say Lancey and Reece James.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
We saw what.
But James is my boy. I love James.
Well, you're not having Walker, no?
Walker's still up there.
My favourite, my number one is James.
Yeah, that's fine.
James
but Walker ain't going nowhere for
No, Walker's Walker. And he can play in the back three and he can do other things. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
But the influx of right backs,
100%.
what I'm trying to say, is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And the right back that plays now isn't the right back of 15 years ago.
No way.
No.
Yeah.
That's
why
like Gary Neville, right?
Gary, that's why I had to
flying up that wing. You're more or less like another centre back.
But that's why I had to clarify it, because you know when people watch this, they'll be thinking, it's literally right back. They'll be thinking, Carl Walker, Trippier, all them man, they're going forward, boom. No. Them man are defenders.
Yes.
Like going forward, secondary.
Yes.
There you go. Their first job is to defend.
Yes.
So
cut out crosses, any diagonal balls, you win your header. Yeah. Simple. But so you went in as a right back.
Yeah, I went in as a right back. You know, obviously, my first instinct. Yeah, I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy. I ain't gonna lie, because I've come from an attacking role, getting at defenders, getting my crosses in, to now defending what I used to be. You know what I mean? And you think to yourself, I've got to defend a skillful winger who's fast, and I've got to track him back and everything. All right, I like it to be on the other foot where I'm just taking him on. You know, so, but I had to pause and think, you know, is this going to get me up into the first team? Because I've already made the first step by going in the reserves. So, you know what I mean? You're one stop away from being in the first team. And then you'll get more recognition, as in Sam Allardyce was the manager at the time, and he watches reserves game.
Okay.
So, you know what I mean? So you got to think all of that and put that all in perspective and think to yourself, okay, cool. Well, you know, I've done a good job, really good job there, played there for the rest of the season. And from there, that's where I got my recognition of Sam Allardyce inviting me to first team training sessions.
Oh, wow.
You know, so it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
It worked out.
It worked out just right for me. And start playing in the training sessions, you know, training alongside El-Haji Diouf, Jay-Jay Okocha, you know, Kevin Nolan, Kevin Davis, Ivan Campo, you know, Fernando Hierro, you know, El-Haji Diouf, Ibrahim Bar. You know,
like, if you're listening,
listen,
if you're listening, and if you're watching,
do your
please,
research.
He's just named out a list of some phenomenal players who've had phenomenal
Please do your
careers.
Yes. JJ.
So
nice,
you know when you know that little bit
there,
you know that little bit that you just saw, and he just said, you know when that bit comes on, stop, listen, right, stop, listen,
yes.
right, yeah, because there are some players there,
Quick
players.
Jay-Jay Okocha, you know.
Yeah.
So that's your first team.
That's the first team.
So you're going into that group of players,
Yes,
as a young one.
Yes.
So it's like, boy,
you got to
you know the
correct.
boy,
Yeah,
the boy.
Yes.
All
yes.
right, cool.
You know, and obviously I'm going in there as a right back.
And JJ used to come out.
JJ's coming with his tricks and flicks and everything. I'm like, oh,
Man,
come on.
to rainbow flick over my head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and you know the training sessions we had were like fun. Don't get me. It was a lot of fun. You know, we got to points where, you know, Fridays was young v old.
Okay.
You know, we have fun with young v old. So obviously at the time I'm always in the young team. You know, we have like Kevin Nolan in the young team. Then we're facing against Jay-Jay Okocha. Who else was there? It will be UC Ascalon was in goal for them.
Yeah.
You know, so you have the older head versus the younger ones. You know, and it was funny because it got to a point where losers. So if you lose the game, what you have to do, you got to stand in the goal. Every man lines up in the goal line, and they got to turn around, and they got to smack balls in it and try and hit you.
Yeah.
So that day, the young team got punished, didn't it? So, you know what I mean? But you know what I mean?
So man had to feel it.
Yeah. So you know what I mean? You just had to stand there and just hold everything. You know what I mean? Just pray that it doesn't hit you. You know, and you know, Jay-Jay Okocha had one of them boom foots as well.
And it was direct.
Yes.
He knew where that was going.
Yes.
And who he wanted to target.
Yes.
Yeah. Trust
Yes.
me.
Accuracy.
Yeah.
Exactly. You know.
Accuracy.
But yeah, so then from that, I got my pro contract. So contract.
So that was after the third year.
Yeah, after the third year. So so I got 1 year pro. So I ended up being there for 4 years.
Okay.
So in my year pro with them, I managed to make my debut in the FA Cup against Tranmere Rovers at the Reebok Stadium.
Yeah.
All right.
And
At home.
First leg.
At
So then, so it was 2 legs.
All right. Yeah.
So at home, and he brought me on. So he brought me on the 80th minute, and we was 1-0 down at the time, and I scored in the 85th minute and made it 1-1.
Okay.
Were you a bit puzzled though? You're right back coming on in the 80th minute. Did not want no one getting
Well,
injured.
I didn't come on as a right back because we was chasing the game. So he pushed pretty much everyone forward to chase the game because obviously at the time Tranmere, I think they was in maybe League One at the time when we played against them. So obviously they're sitting back. So he's just thrown me on there. Yes, like you know, go right wing and go and chase the game. And yeah, it was from a corner. You know, corners come out because I'm not the one to, you know, as they call it. Sometimes they call it the bus queue, running in and trying to win and try and head the ball. I was always the one on the edge of the box, and it's always been like that for me. Always be on the edge of the box. Anything come out, just pull it back in.
Yeah.
So it was one of those ones where had a corner, you know, they've cleared it out. I'm on the edge of the box, and I've just hit it and just scored, you know, and I didn't know what to do with myself.
I
you
was
know
just
what I mean?
about to ask you, did you know how to celebrate or did you just freeze?
I just froze, to be honest. I just froze.
You ever have like a celebration in mind if you ever scored? Actually, you're the right back, so you might not think
you know what I mean? I didn't have that mindset.
You know what it was? Just Alan Shearer.
Yeah.
No, I remember. Like Vash must have scored a goal one time against Arsenal.
Yeah.
And he scored and it's like he didn't know what to do. Like it was like
Yeah.
Like, all right, cool. On to the next one. Like, let's get back to the centre circle.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's odd. Like, it's not my forte.
Well, that's the thing. I'm just standing there, and all the players are rushing to me, running to me, like, celebrating. I'm like, okay, yeah, but I don't know what to do, And we end up drawing that game, but I end up getting the replay for the next round.
Okay.
So we got the replay in the next round, and but I wasn't featured in that squad. He put out a more stronger squad.
To go through.
So he probably wants to try and win it.
Yeah, so he wanted to try and win it, And then that was that. And then I got selected to play in the Carling Cup at the time.
Yeah, League Cup.
Yeah, the League Cup.
Yeah.
So it's called Carling Cup back then.
Yeah.
And we
What's
played
it now?
The Domino's.
Papa John's.
Papa John's.
Is it Papa John's?
Yeah, Papa John's.
Is that the Papa John's?
Yeah, Papa John's. Yeah.
League Cup, Papa John's.
Yeah. Carling Cup, whatever that is.
Yeah, I was trying to think.
Yes,
I was trying to look for it yesterday.
It's a Papa John's, Papa John's.
On Google.
Papa John's trophy.
Okay.
The one what the 21s are involved in.
No, that's the that's the EFL Cup.
Yeah, because that EFL.
There's EFL. The Papa John's is the Carling Cup that they play the final in February. And then there's the Emirates FA Cup.
Leave it out. Leave it out. Too much sponsorship and all them things.
So whoever's got the biggest bag, whoever drops the biggest peas, take it. Yeah. Papa John's
for the year.
Yeah.
Papa John's Cup.
Leave it
out. So got selected.
Yeah.
And I end up starting as well
back.
as a right back.
Okay.
As a right back, and at the time in the team, I was alongside Bruno Ngotti, so he was alongside me.
Okay.
And there was like El-Haji Diouf when he came.
Striker.
Yeah. El-Haji Diouf, Les Ferdinand.
Big Uncle
Les. So he came at that time. And then...
Who's your link up with? Who's your winger?
My winger, Ricardo Vazte.
Yes,
West Ham.
Yeah. West Ham. So he was in the academy. So he was a year or two below me.
Oh, is that where he started out?
Yeah.
I thought they bought him.
He came across from Portugal.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, came across from Portugal and he was in the academy.
Okay.
So they got him young.
He came. So when I was in my third year, he was in his first year. So that's when he came. So he came at 16.
So he came at 16.
He came at 16.
I was going to say, he came
at 16.
Yeah, so he came.
Bolton's got links like that.
Yeah. So he come
Bolton had some links back then. Nada. All right, cool.
Yeah, so, we played in the Carling Cup against Yeovil and we won 1-0 at the time. So, so that was that. And then I had a meeting with Sam Allardyce and he wanted me to go and get first team football. Yeah. Because I was being selected for the first team, but I was only on like standby or reserves and stuff like that. So I used to travel. Yeah, I weren't getting a minute. So I'll travel with them. I was in the squad, as they call it, in the squad, but I wasn't in on the sub bench.
You weren't in the 18.
Yeah. So he decided to, go out and get some minutes, and he sent me on loan to Bristol Rovers at the time.
All right. Okay.
So he sent me on a month loan at Bristol Rovers. Whilst I was there for a whole month and only played 25 minutes whilst I was there. And
was there a reason behind that? Even now, when you look back at that little period, that month, was there a reason? Do you think the manager didn't like you? Do you think you weren't one of the manager's players? Did
the manager request you, or you knew the manager and he just sent you out there?
I see.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, I think so. I think Sam Allardyce sent me out there.
Okay.
But they've accepted me for one. Mm. But then,
did they need a right back?
Well, I'll come as a right winger.
Oh, right.
I came as a right winger out there. But I think he already had his players and how he wanted to play things already laid out already at that time. Yeah. And it was just literally just training sessions. I'm on the bench, not coming on the bench, not coming on. And then I finally come off the bench and it was probably the third week in it. And played like the last 25 minutes or whatever. Mm-hmm. And Sam Allardyce was fuming.
Of course.
Come on, man.
Fuming. And he was like, why am I going to send my player down there? Well, I want him to get minutes and you're not even going to play him. So I end up coming back to Bolton and he said, he apologised. He said, you know what, I'm sorry you had to experience that and everything like that. I want to send you out to somewhere else for the remaining 3 months, the rest of the season. Yeah. And he sent me out to Bury.
Okay.
So not too far.
Yeah, not too far at all. So went out to Bury.
Sounds past Manchester, innit?
It's around the same.
It's like diagonal from each other or something like that.
In that little remit up there.
Yeah. So because you got Bury, you got Rochdale,
Blackburn, all of
Preston,
that, Burnley.
You know what I mean? So it's all
you know what, it's weird. Sorry to cut you out, because I remember Twitter must have cussed out Gary Neville one time. Can't remember what he done. I think it's just before he went to Valencia. I was cussing him out because he was talking, and then I must have said, like, look at this stupid mank. And then if you see the way they got onto me on Twitter, it's like, he's not from Mank, he's from Bury.
He's from Bury.
Okay, yes.
Like, he's from Bury.
I didn't even know the difference.
He's not from Manchester, he's from Bury.
He's from Bury, So that's who you're there.
Know the thing. Know the thing.
But you got sent to Bury.
Exactly. So obviously all up there is it's Lancashire. Lancashire. So all around there.
Perfect.
So he sent me there, and I done well, playing week in, week out with them. Scored a couple goals for them at the time, and it was a good experience. Good experience there. Probably the last game of the season where it was like a bad experience was when we played against Swansea.
Okay.
And it was the last game of the season. Played against Swansea City, and they had to win to win the league at the time.
And where were you guys at the time?
We was like mid-table.
Okay.
We was mid-table. So, we weren't really playing for anything.
You weren't in for nothing,
we weren't in the playoffs or anything.
Nothing.
It was just out of it.
You were just playing.
Yeah. So, it was one of those ones where, are we going to be the team to be upset? And they beat us. They beat us 2-0 at the time. And obviously their fans came on, started celebrating, and it got a bit hostile. For some reason, I don't know what it was, but their fans, the fans went crazy, and now we're talking right now, obviously talking about Black Lives Matter and stuff like that with the racism and stuff like that, and that was the first time I experienced, fans being racist and stuff like that
towards you,
towards us, towards us, towards the black players, and at the time. Colin Kazim Richards was playing for Bury, so he was my teammate at the time, and my mum came up and stuff like that, and they were just all outside, and the fans were just like, just shouting out, go back home, be a black F and this and that, and we're like, what's going on, like, calling us monkeys and everything, and I'm thinking, what's really going on, and my mum just says it how it is, and mum just said to him straight away, you calling us monkey words, blah, blah, blah. That was the same guy, Monkey, who scored your goals for you to get promoted. So what are you know what I mean?
Yeah, it was freeze.
That's mad.
Where did that all come from?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He just helped you got promoted, and you're being racist and shouting out racist chants. It was bizarre.
Well, that's the reality of the thought pattern.
Exactly.
They're not thinking about the colour of your skin when you put on the shirt.
No.
They're just thinking about the shirt.
Yeah.
So as long as you got the shirt on, it doesn't matter if you're white, pink or blue.
No. Don't matter who you are.
It doesn't matter if you're white, pink or blue, but you've got the shirt on. So
they just see the shirt.
They don't see the person.
The number, the name, the shirt. That's it.
That's it.
I think that's why the volcano erupted, and we do have the Black Lives Matter movement and those things. Yeah. Personally, I don't really deal with the Black Lives Matter movement. I'm in of no racism.
Yes.
Yeah, and to educate and allow people to understand different races and different religions and different cultures. That's what I'm a part of. The Black Lives Matter movement, I understand it, I respect it, and that's what they do. And I'm black myself, so my life does matter.
Yes.
Do you get what I'm saying? Yes, my life does matter, so it's not that I'm saying. But also, is my life matters. My cameraman behind me is white.
Yes.
And his life matters too.
Of course.
So my thing's more about racism and not just about, all right, my life. It's about eradicating. It's going to be hard, obviously, but it's about eradicating and educating people so it fades out. So when I'm dead and my kids are about, there isn't a word called racism because it's something that they don't even know about because everyone's easy and respects people for themselves and not because of the colour of their skin. Yeah. So hopefully. Fingers crossed.
Definitely. I respect that. I would like to give my own point, but on this point.
No, but
quickly, I fully understand you, and I agree with what you're saying to a degree. But I think we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the acknowledgement of the Black Lives Matter. Do you get what I'm saying? It started off with an incident that took place in America where, rest in peace George Floyd, who
100%.
who was on the floor for 8.5 minutes. We know the story. Mm-hmm. And then, the whole idea of let's take the knee and show solidarity to the black community. And that's how Black Lives Matter started. I think that whole, it started off well. Yeah.
So
knee
you can
down.
get mad now.
I just think I don't see the point of it, because I don't see the point of them having say no to racism, but then you're still getting players to take the knee.
No, but do you know what it is about the knee? And I don't think people really understand the knee. If you understand the origins of the knee and actually understand about Colin Kaepernick and what he did and what the knee stood for him. No, but I'm saying what it stood for him in the sense of, I'm rather with him in the sense of where he was coming from. Because he was about police brutality. He was about the minorities and how they were being treated. And that's what this is. But it's been spun. It's a gimmick. Just like everything kind of gets spun. It's a gimmick, so like when Junior says like, I don't understand why people are still doing the knee and et cetera, et cetera. There's a lot of people out there with that view. Because it's like, it's a political gesture now. Like, it's just part and parcel of whatever.
And why I say that is because I think we need to move on from that and create something bigger. And I think that was created, what we saw last night with Demba Ba and the incident in Paris.
But again, with Demba, it has to be a man to stand up.
That's what I'm saying. So now,
but I'm saying that situation. Sorry to cut you like that, Junior. Sorry. That situation has happened
many times.
Thousands of times. Thousands of times over the last 20 years.
Maybe longer.
On a pitch. No, I'm just saying. In 20. So I'm saying 2000 till now, So the millennium. That's happened thousands of times. And there's been loads of times where black players haven't felt the courage to be able to just say no. So those things I get with the Black Lives Matter movement, with us as black people feeling that we can talk a little bit more and not be put into shackles, as they say, under the words that we're talking. Because I don't believe, not saying that Demba Ba wouldn't have done this 5 years ago, because the character, what I see within him, I feel he would have done it.
But enough is enough. But like, you've got the knee, you've got the patches, you've got billboards, but at the end of the day, it's not working.
What's the change?
You know what?
Even down to,
I'm going to take it into my
I'm even going to go to mine. And sorry to cut you, Ricky. We're just going into this debate. Sorry to cut you. But it's just, I would even go into my own team and say with Cavani and what he wrote with the Negro team. And I'm saying, that's standard South American racism.
Yes. We'll get into that. And
I'm not even meaning it like derogatory. So it's not for me to pin out the South American man and say it, but he doesn't look at that as nothing. Negro's black. So when he says Negro, he's not looking at it like, I'm talking to him like derogatory. He's just one black man, innit? But he doesn't understand the connotations of the word. So because he doesn't understand the connotations of the word, he uses the word flippantly. So obviously as a black man, we're going to look at that word and be touched by it because we understand the connotations and why it was used against us. So that's the differences. So I'm not trying to excuse anyone, Junior. My team, anyone. That's why I said these people need to be educated.
And let's just finish up on this. And the reason why it has to come away from the knee, because it's a gimmick, is that the best way to make change, you got to hurt someone's pocket. So you see yesterday, UEFA's pocket was hurt. So maybe you know what, let's actually do something about it. Maybe not, I don't know. You get what I'm saying? But for them to refuse, you got to big up all of them. Literally all of them, because it started with him and then his white
counterparts.
Believe there was another South American in there, down to the manager.
Even Kylian.
The Neymar came in and then they were like, no,
Kylian said no.
It's not going to happen. Do you get what I'm saying? Bro. So right now, and if that was a game with fans in there, well, we got a problem here, you know.
Major.
we've got a major problem. Now, all of the fans want to come in for the next game again.
Yep.
Do you know what I'm saying?
And that's free.
Yeah.
And that's coming out of someone's pocket.
That's free.
Yes.
Yeah, you got the hotel, the players who are gonna go back. It's coming out of someone's pocket.
Yeah.
Is it gonna get televised? It's coming out of someone's pocket.
Yeah, but bro, like we could be on this for long.
Yeah,
and I say we could be on this for long.
So that's why I say you got to take matters and you got to hit them where it hurts. And when you hurt someone's pocket, they're gonna react.
Yeah.
But anyway, sorry, we go back to the Bury situation.
Yeah.
So leaving there, obviously with that now you've gone back to Bolton, right?
Yeah, gone back to Bolton, and I had a meeting with Sam Allardyce, and he decided to release me.
Oh wow.
He said
after the end of the year.
End of the year, he decided to release me. I'm not in his plans, as they'll say. And
the lovely lyrics.
Yeah, exactly.
Easy,
yeah.
Easy way out.
The amount of times you'll hear that, throughout your whole career, you're not in my plans. I've got other things planning ahead and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, cool. But what's next? What's next for me? And had a phone call from the Swindon manager.
Okay.
The late Andy King.
All right.
So had a phone call from him, and he just asked me, want to come down to Swindon Town, and he offered me a year.
Okay.
He offered me a year.
You saying that? So there was no agent involved.
At that time,
coming out of Bolton,
I didn't have an agent.
So you was basically everything was going through you or your mum.
Yeah, me and my mum. Yeah.
All right.
So
we need more female agents.
100%.
Yes, exactly.
Need more.
Signed for Swindon for a year, and obviously when we was talking about the other day about relocation and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we had to put that in line as well because, South London to Swindon
is not far.
It's not far, but it's a journey.
Miles, bro.
And if I'm training Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday,
that's 160 miles.
I'll be going back and forth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I need somewhere close.
When I mean it's not far, it's not as far as Bolton.
I get that,
but yeah, it's far.
It's a boot, bruv.
You're going towards
it's Reading.
Bristol.
Yeah. So it's M4.
So M4 past Reading, Swindon, and then it's Bristol.
Yeah,
just before Bristol.
Yeah.
So obviously we discussed about relocation. So they sorted me out relocation money, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So I managed to get my place out there. And so that was the first time I actually was living by myself because at Bolton I was in digs.
All right. Well, for the whole 3 years, yeah? 4 years?
So 4 years I was in digs.
Right.
I was in digs. So I was there. And then obviously...
Same family?
Same family for 3 years. And then when I did my pro, I was with another family because the family I was doing before, they were just coming out of it. They didn't want to do it anymore.
All right.
So I was just moving on to another family for that year.
It was him.
They had enough.
He was done over there. It was 3 years. He was done over there. Mate, I'm done. I'm done.
But so I managed to get a place out there, and as you said, there's an outlet out there. So I literally lived across the road from the outlet.
Okay, I remember there were kind of new buildings.
There was new builds. So the new builds and the outlet was just literally across the road from me. Yeah, that didn't do me any favours.
I used to go there to get the Ralph. You know where Ralph is? The polo.
Mate, so I was there playing, and I was playing week in, week out with him.
Yeah.
And we was doing well at the start of the season. And then for some reason, our records, we just started dropping, and we was dropping down the leagues, and we got relegated that year, and that was my first relegation, as in men's football. So that was just a total different feeling. When you're playing academy football, you're just playing to play really and trying to impress the manager, but playing men's football, you're playing for a purpose.
Of course,
you're playing for your lives. It's it turns out to be a job. It's a job now. Because there's people's work on the line. You have your manager's work on the line. You have your own work on the line. You don't do well.
You're playing for points.
You're playing for points.
Survival.
Exactly.
Top 6.
Yep.
Bonuses.
Come on.
Yeah, so you know what I mean. So you're thinking all of those things come alive. You know, like as we said, bonuses, win bonuses, goal bonus, you know, playoff bonus, promotion bonus. You know, there's no relegation bonus. So you might
cut your piece.
Yeah, exactly. There's cutting your piece.
There is no relegation bonus.
Right.
You might cut your piece.
So you know what I mean. So I had all of those.
Done that. Give me that.
And then so we got relegated.
Yeah.
And obviously I was out of contract as well.
Oh.
But just before that, I managed to sign a new contract. So they signed me for another year. Decided to sign me for another year.
You got us down, you take us up.
Yeah. So I've signed another year, but the manager got sacked. Oh. So, you know, Andy Curtin got sacked at the time.
Yeah.
And so he got sacked probably towards the end of the year because then Ife Anora took over.
All right.
So Ife Anora took over. Yeah, so he took over the remainder of the year. And whilst I was there, that's when I had the opportunity to play international.
Okay.
Whilst I was at Swindon in my first year. And that was for Trinidad and Tobago.
Okay.
So that's...
And how did that come up?
Yeah.
So with that, I think they was watching a couple games and it started off, I think they was watching me from Bolton. So this was the under-23s in Trinidad.
Yeah.
So they started watching me from Bolton, watching me where I was going and stuff like that. And then someone approached me when I was at Swindon and they said to me, you want to come across and play a couple games for Trinidad for the under-23s. So went across Trinidad, you know, different culture shock.
Yeah.
Culture shock. You know, I've gone there,
Yeah.
you know, the training facilities, not the best. You know, I've gone from, you know what I mean? You've gone from Bolton, training facilities, then you go to Swindon, a little bit better. Yeah, training facility. Then I go to Trinidad, the Caribbeans.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not the same. It's not the same. So I get picked up at the hotel. We get picked up at the hotel. And around that time, it was rainy season as well.
All right, yeah.
So go to the training facilities.
Yeah,
the grass ain't even grass, it's mud. It's mud, you know what I mean? And you got to train.
Yeah.
Training, you know, and then, you know, we're finishing up training and stuff like that. And then you have the bus man, the driver man. Yeah, you man better wash, you know, you're not getting on dirty on this coach.
Yeah.
So I'm looking around thinking, where am I going to wash my skin? I was thinking, okay, I'll get back to the hotel, shower up and everything like that. My teammates, the rest of the teammates, they was getting a hose from someone who lives down the road in their backyard and just hosing off themselves and stuff like that. And I was like, wow.
Like, this is different.
This is different over here,
different.
Mate.
Different. But
ain't no showers local, mate.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean?
I
just had to muck in and thought, you know what, cool. I'm here now.
Yeah.
You know.
Acclimatized.
Yeah, exactly. That's the word. Acclimatized, definitely. You know what I mean? So just wash myself down, boom, and just, you know, soldier it until I get back to the hotel and just have a nice little shower, you know.
Yeah.
And but it was a good experience.
Of course.
Good experience. And you know what I mean? It makes you think to yourself.
Play?
Yeah.
I played.
I played. Played a couple games when I was out there as well. So it was all good, you know.
Good.
You know, and it was one of the ones where I come back and it makes you appreciate what you have back at home.
Of course.
You know, when you see, you know, the Trinidadian players out there and what they have to go through to, you know, to try and get up there, you know, and we're at home, you know, we got gas and electric, we're nice,
got
TV, you got certain things, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that grounded me even more.
I hear that.
You know, it grounded me even more. I thought to myself, you know what? Okay, what I got at home, I got to cherish it, you know, and try and do the best that I can do. Yeah. So I came back and stuff, carried on playing towards the end of the season, and then it was probably April time, so season's
Like
finishing up
tailing
now.
the season.
Yeah, tailing. So because that time season finishes in May. End of May, and I got the call up again for Trinidad, but to go out there for the men's football.
All right, yeah.
All right. So, and this was for when they was getting prepared for the World Cup.
Okay.
For 2006.
So what's that? Gold Cup, CONCACAF?
No.
What would that be?
So
No, they just get.
Or just they
friendlies,
qualified?
Yeah.
Okay,
the friendlies,
friendlies.
qualified,
Friendlies.
yeah.
Oh, right. Sorry. So you
Friendlies.
said getting ready. Sorry.
yeah, so they get ready. So the friendlies, And Ifeanyi said I can't go. Right? So he said I can't go. So I was 21 at the time.
Okay.
So I'm like, what do you mean I can't go? He said, well, no, I need you here. You know, you can't go anywhere. So obviously, I've never been in that situation before. So I'm thinking, okay, what can I do? Or, you know, but then I've got to think about, well, they're the ones who's paying my wages. Yeah. They're paying my wages. And I'm going out there for a friendly, you know, they're not going to reimburse me or anything like that. So I'm losing out.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, cool. So that was my situation gone out the window. For Trinidad. So, and then in the summertime, so in the off season, that's when Trinidad called me up again and said, you know, we have a friendly over here in the UK against Iceland at Loftus Road.
All right, yeah.
You know, so I want you to come and be involved for it. So I was like, okay, cool. So went to the training facilities over here with Trinidad. So I was like training with Dwight York, Shaka Hislop, Stern John, Carlos Edwards, Dennis Lawrence.
Was Kenwin in there?
Kenwin Jones.
Yeah. What's the other Stoke striker?
Which one? No, that's Jamaican.
Who?
Ricardo Fuller.
Fuller.
My bad.
Fuller, no, Jamaican.
Sorry. We're not all the same.
I'm not racist.
Chris Birchall.
The ignorance.
Chris Birchall.
The white boy.
The white boy.
White boy.
You know. And
some seasoned names there.
Yeah. Brent Sancho.
Yeah.
At the time. And so they obviously played, and then I was on the bench against Iceland's Loftus Road, and they had like Good Johnson. So Good Johnson was playing at the time. Ida Good Johnson. He was at Chelsea at the time.
Yeah.
So, and because at Loftus Road, a lot of people who know me came to the game as well.
Of course.
You know, and everybody said, "Oh yeah, my brother Ricky, blah blah blah," and because I was on the carnival scene as well, and you know, round QPR, there's a lot of
the West London.
Yeah, that's West London.
So there's a lot of Trini supporters and everything like that. You know what I mean? So all of them was like, bigging me up, blah blah blah.
That's love.
You know, so it was good, man. It was a good experience, great experience. Come on and stuff like that. You know, and then that was that, and obviously Trinidad qualified for the World Cup that year for 2006 in Germany.
Yeah.
And I got the call up to be on standby for it. So obviously I had to sign some papers that I accept I'm going to be on standby. And the logistics of that was obviously if someone gets injured, they'll call me up, fly me over, and I'll be part of the squad, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So he said to me, okay, well, just in case we have to call you up and fly you over, you have to sign the bonus sheet, what they'll get for the World Cup. So he's like, cool. So I had to meet someone at a hotel in London, central London, and I've gone there, and he's like, yeah, here's the bonus sheet for the World Cup and stuff like that, all the qualifying rounds and stuff like that. And when I'm seeing these bonuses, my eyes were just lighting up like, oh my days, I better get this call up.
You see zeros.
I'm
like
seeing
Like,
zeros.
3 zeros, man, saying,
Mate,
please.
I'm seeing money. I'm like, okay, all right. So I'm seeing, it was like something ridiculous, like 10 grand, like getting there. Then you come out of the first round, the group stages, goes up 20 grand. Yeah, you get to the quarters, 30 grand, 40 grand, 50 grand, like finals, 60, you win it, 100. Yeah. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Like,
Where these men getting the money from?
Exactly. And you're paying a squad.
Yeah.
A squad.
Remember that everyone's getting
And it's
25
well.
man squad.
Yeah. So I'm like, wow, this is crazy, you know. But then, like, obviously you're wishing they do well, but you're wishing you could be out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Someone gets injured.
Yeah.
I need money.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
100%.
I need that bread.
You don't want to be bad
That
man,
shit's coming
but
on with me.
exactly.
That's the year they played England.
Yes.
Yes.
And that's the year when they said Peter Crouch
Pulled his hair.
Yeah,
to get the head up.
Yeah,
I remember
Brent
that.
Sancho's hair to get the header in and stuff like that. But yeah, no, I watched it. I watched it whilst I was out there and stuff like that, and you know, it was good. But I was close.
Yeah.
I was close of obviously being out there with the boys.
You was near.
Yeah.
But so
Very
far.
near.
Yes, exactly.
So close, but yet so far.
And didn't hear nothing from them after that.
Nothing.
Nothing at all. Didn't hear nothing. And then obviously I did my second year
Yeah.
at
Swindon.
At Swindon.
Yeah, so you're into your second year.
Into my second year, and they announced the new manager, and it was Dennis Wise and Gus Poyet at the time. So
that's their first stint,
So Dennis Wise come in, and as soon as he came in, you know, he said to the boys, you know, I'm not into this calling me gaffer or manager or this palaver, you know. You can just call me Dennis or call me Wisey.
Yeah.
And from that day, I went, yes, I'm gonna like this guy. I'm gonna like this guy because he's down to down to earth. And you know, Gus was there. Gus was just a funny guy. You know what I mean? He was funny, just banter with the boys and blah blah blah.
Did he join in training?
Both of them did. You know. And
I know Gus gave that flair.
Oh.
Wise was probably smashing players, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Why is he didn't care? He was like, yeah, this is how I want you to play on the pitch.
Yeah.
You can smash if you want, but trust me, you're gonna be getting it back.
Yeah,
So it was one of those ones, and you know, it done the team well, because then that year we got promoted. You know, so it shows from the start what he had. You know, and then he got a move from it at the same time as well.
Where did he go?
He went to Leeds. He went to Leeds.
It was Leeds in the middle, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Leeds wasn't a great move.
So
and then he dropped out.
Yeah. So he went to Leeds, and
where were you lot when he left, or did he leave mid-season? I say he left mid-season.
Yeah, he left mid-season. He left like probably must have been like the last 3 or 4 months of the season. Right. So it was in the new year.
Did that affect you guys in terms of?
No, we're still doing our business. We're still like third, second. We were touching third, second at the time, because them times it was like 4 can go up.
Yeah. Yes.
And then playoffs and stuff like that. Yes. So when he left, we had Paul Sturrock, who came in and took over, and for some reason, I don't know, the team was doing well, and I was at the team at the time, and a couple of other players, and he just had this thing where he was superstitious, where he wasn't changing the team, he wasn't changing the squad at all, he wasn't doing nothing, no matter what we was doing in training sessions or anything like that. He just stuck with the same team. You know, team will be drawing or winning, just keeping it the same. You know, and
how did that affect you though?
It affects me a lot, because I've gone from playing week in, week out, you know, from the previous year and into the new year with the new manager, with Wisey, and then all of a sudden he comes in, you know, Paul Sturrock comes in, brings his players in at the same time. And that's it, you know, and there was no explanation to it, you know, as the famous word is, you know, you're not in my plans. That came about. I was like, okay, cool. Well, you know, I just got to see the season out. That's how it was. That type of thing. You know what I mean? See the season out. And, you know, get to the story where, you know, where it was me, Kevin James, and Curtis Weston. You know, and one night we went, you know, on a Friday night we went out. You know, we was all not in the team, and we said, you know what? We're going out, you know, we're just going out we're going out, you know, we lost our heads. As you lose your heads, you know, and it's getting towards the end of the season. We're not getting picked, so we're like, you know what, screw this, we're going out. So we went out down in Bournemouth on a Friday night, you know, partying, blah blah blah, you know, knowing that there's a game the next day, but we're not involved. And we was playing against Bristol Rovers, so our local rivals. You know, so it's a derby game. But it was like, cool, we're not involved.
So it is what it is.
Yeah, so that night, so we had a good time partying, blah blah blah. Then we get up in the morning, and like we're all shattered, and we're looking at the time. We're like, damn, we got to get back for the coach. So I think Kevin James was the worst out of all of us, but we drove down in his car.
Okay.
So
to Bournemouth.
To Bournemouth. So he just looked at me and he went, Shakes, man, I beg you, drive, bro. Beg you, I'm just going to sit in the back. So I was like, all right, cool, just give me the keys. Let's go. So we just showered up, boom, fly down the motorway, got to the coach. So we met the coach at the county ground in Swindon.
Yes.
And just jumped on the coach, and just all of us just went straight to the back.
Yeah, straight.
And just fell asleep. Even though the journey was only 30 minutes, that sleep felt like it was 2-3 hours. so we was in there. So, you know what I mean? Got to the ground, got to Bristol Rovers ground and stuff, and then we got into the changing room. So we're all sitting there, and we're all looking at each other like, he's going to name the team, he's going to name the subs. We're not involved, blah, blah. Yeah, so we just take it easy.
Yeah.
So like, cool. So he just named the team. We're like, yeah, cool, sitting back. And then he named the subs. And then he said Kevin James. And then
he's wasted.
Me and Curtis we just looked. Our eyes just opened. We went, raw. We looked at James and James was looking at us eyes wide open.
Now he's awake. He's awake now.
Exactly.
Trust me.
Right. So
he's awake.
We're like, what?
What? Who?
Yeah.
Back straight, everything.
Oh, mate. So then me and Curtis went out. We started busting up laughing damn, how is he going to get through this? Because he was finished. He was worst out of all of us. So we're like, all right, cool. So then he gets changed. Gaffer goes out now. And as the gaffer's gone out, James has run back in. Started puking in the toilet. We're like, yeah, this guy's finished. He ain't going to make it. And we're like praying, please don't come on. We don't want him to come on, innit?
You're done.
So the game's playing, blah, blah, blah. And he's he's survived the first half. So he's not on, survived the first half. So he's like, okay, cool. Someone's looking down on him, innit? It's like, yeah, someone's looking after him.
Oh, no, it gets injured.
Yeah. So then he gets the second half now. It gets to the last, probably, it was the 70th minute and everything. And he's just sent Jamesy on the warm up. Yeah, Jamesy, go and warm up. So Jamesy's like, looked at us. We're in the stands. He looked at us like, so he's running, warming up, trying to warm up. You know them little idiot stretches. You're not stretches, but you're just swaying. Yeah, you're just swaying from side to side. And then all of a sudden,
maybe like an under 8.
Yeah, exactly. And then all of a sudden he's going, yep, blow the whistle, Jamesy, yep, come. Oh my days, he jogged so slow towards him, thinking, yeah, time will just keep ticking. And me and Curtis just started laughing. Where's this gonna go?
I'm over. I'm done. I'm saying I'm done. I'm done.
He's stripping off, but you know one of the ones where he's stripping off, but he ain't got his shin pads in. So he's just putting his shin pads in, taking his time. He's
trying to waste time.
Yeah, waste time. Bro, but the man was like, come on, hurry up. Like, let's go. He's like, yeah. Just slow.
He's looking for the next sub. Put him on.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Exactly.
No.
So he's come on. So then he's come on now. We're like, and when I mean, Jamesy was doing just the basics. You know what I mean?
Two touch.
5 yarders in it.
Yeah.
Two touch.
Because Jamesy, he's a box to box man. Get up and down.
He ain't got that burst in him.
No.
Two touch.
Yeah. So
your pass, take it.
Exactly.
Go forward, don't come back.
Yes.
Turn around, man.
Yeah. Don't look at me.
Back for?
Don't look at me.
Don't bounce it back to me. Turn around. Go there. What you did?
Yeah. You pass it to me, I'll pass it back to you.
Yeah,
We didn't get back. Yeah, literally.
Behave yourself. Look, we did.
But yeah, so he managed to get through it at the end of the day, and it was crazy. It was crazy, But obviously, got towards the end of the season.
Yeah.
We got the last game of the season, and we was playing against MK Dons at our ground.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it was one of them ones where it was a nothing game because we was getting promoted. MK was getting promoted. I can't remember the other two teams were getting promoted at the same time as well. But once we won the game, it just came as a big party. You know what I mean? Their fans come on the pitch, our fans come on the pitch, all celebrating, they're all together. Yeah.
So that was a different dynamic.
Exactly.
To the Bury team.
For the Bury. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it was just different because both teams were celebrating, both fans were celebrating, and it was a wonderful experience. You know what I mean? From getting relegated and bouncing back up to get promoted.
Nice.
The feeling was unreal.
Different,
yeah. And then it just makes you think that, okay, what's next for me? What's next for me? Because I wasn't in the team, wasn't playing in the team at all, the last 4 months. And I thought to myself, okay,
time to move on.
Time to move on, clearly. So obviously then I got the phone call from Brentford.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I got the phone call from Brentford, and it was Terry Butcher was the manager.
All right.
And Andy Scott was the assistant manager.
Yeah.
Terry Butcher,
centre off,
England. They call it England with
bloody
the cut around his head and stuff like that. Yeah. So he was in that. He was in that Maradona thing as well.
Yeah.
So he was in that as well.
100%.
Yeah. So signed there in 2007.
Yeah.
2007, because that's when I had my daughter.
Okay.
as well, 2007.
So you wanted to come closer to home.
So you know what I mean. So it's one of the that's exactly. You know, I was expecting little one. It was one of the ones where got to be closer to home now.
Of course.
So went there. Had the training session in July. 1st of July, started training. Blah blah blah. Obviously, I told him from the get go that I'm expecting a little one very soon.
Yeah.
And so it was the 20th of July. I had my little one, and I came into training, and you know, at the time my girlfriend fell into labour.
All right, yeah.
So I've turned up for training and everything like that. I've just said, oh yeah, like, you know, gaffer, like, she's in labour.
Yeah.
Whatever, is it all right for me to go? He just looked at me and said, what are you doing here? Go, like, hurry up.
Yeah, do your stuff.
Yeah, hurry up. You know what I mean? You could have just called me and said,
Proper.
boom.
Yeah.
You know, so he was just down. So it was like, just
Yeah.
go. So I was like, cool. So I went there, went to the birth, blah, 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 St. Thomas's, you know, I had the little one, blah, 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 you know, and, you know, I had a 10 o'clock at night, so I was there all day.
Yeah.
All day, had her at night, 10 o'clock at night. And then I said, you know what, I'll go train the next day, you know, because I'm new, you know, I've got to make an impression,
yeah.
you know what I mean? So I thought, you know, I'll go there the next day. So I've gone there the next day, come in, ready to train, have my kit and everything like that. And then the gaffer, Terry Butchers, looked at me and said, didn't you have your little one last night? I was like, yeah, I had her. She's like beautiful, like healthy and that. He's like, what are you doing here? Go home, spend some time with her, you know what I mean? Spend some time. Yeah. Go home and be a dad, you know?
Of course.
So I just respected him, you know what I mean? You know, you got.
Yeah, that's tenfold.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
You got highly respect man for that.
He knows,
That's tenfold.
it's life outside football.
Yeah.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, you know what I mean? So he sent me home, blah, blah, blah. So gone home, obviously, you know. Everybody's looking at me, what are you doing home? Gaffer sent me home. I'm going to be a father now, innit?
I'm here, innit?
Yeah, I'm here.
What am I doing? Like, do you get what I mean? Like,
Yeah, so, you know, so from then, had a good relationship with him. Playing week in, week out with them. And then towards the end of the season, we was like mid-table, like hitting bottom, but mid-table and stuff like that. So we weren't in the top half. We was in the bottom half of the table majority of the time. And he got the sack.
Oh, wow.
And Andy Scott, the assistant manager, took over.
Yeah.
So he took over. So I was still playing week in, week out. I had an agent at the time.
All right.
So that's when I had an agent.
Yeah.
And end of season now, where we're deciding, you know, who he's keeping on and everything like that.
Yeah.
So some of the boys was already getting told already.
All right.
So they was getting told they're not going to be kept on or anything like that. So they can go. So them boys started to go, well, blah, blah, blah. So I was still there. So I spoke to my agent and said, oh, what's going on? So he said, oh, yeah, no worries. You know, he's got you on board, blah, blah, blah. No worries, don't worry about it. Yeah. So I was like, okay, cool. So he's like, yeah, I'm going on holiday now, blah, blah, blah. But you can still call me, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Because you'll be in good hands.
Yeah.
So like, cool. So I get to the last day of the training session. We're doing a fitness test. So we're doing a fitness test, and it was to calculate where you end up now, and then when you come back at the start of the season, where you can improve, where you should be. Mm-hmm. So I was like, cool. So with the rest of the boys, fitness test, you know, back and forth, bleep test as they called it, and then had a meeting with him after, and he said, you know, famous words, yeah, you're not in my plans. So I'm like, what?
After you done sweat out the place.
Right, exactly. I'm thinking, I've just worked my arse off here, doing a fitness test, running up and down, and you're not offering me anything. You know, I thought you said to my agent that, oh yeah, you know, you're gonna offer me something, blah blah. He's like, yeah, but I've had a change of heart. I've changed my mind. You know, I'm gonna bring my players in. This is the budget, as they call it. This is the budget I've got, and this is what I can do with it, blah blah. So I'm like, okay, all right, no problem. And you know, my head just dropped.
Yeah,
my head just dropped because it's one of them ones where I get to that position where I'm playing, and then all of a sudden they don't want you anymore. Playing, don't want you anymore.
Story.
Yeah, exactly. The story of my life.
So a lot of others, to be fair, but
a lot of other players are in that same predicament, and then
just having being the flavour of the month at that moment, and then someone comes in and then just says, "No,
ruin the whole situation.
You're not for me."
Exactly, and you know what I mean. And you can see where it has an effect on people,
of
different
course,
people, mentally.
100%.
People were like, you know what, sod this. I'm
I'm not ready for this.
Yeah. You know, you gotta be. You know what I mean. You gotta be strong-minded, level-headed, and think to myself, oh, you know what, sod this. I'm gonna go into something else. I'll prove that manager wrong. I'm going to something else. You know, and Darius Charles, who was at Brentford with me, he was playing, but then he was on loan to Ep5 at United at the time. And once he heard I got released, he spoke to the manager, Liam Daish, who's the Ep5 manager. And he said, you know, like, got a good player, Ricky Shakespeare, bring me along. So I was like, you know what? And it was in the conference. Yeah, there was in the National League.
They were in National League.
There was in the National League at the time. And the previous year, they won the... What's that trophy they play? FA Trophy. FA Trophy.
Or the Vase. Is it Vase or Trophy?
FA.
There's the FA Vase and then there's the FA Trophy.
For the non-league.
The
FA Trophy, yeah. So they just won the FA Trophy the previous year.
All right.
So obviously they're in a good high.
They're bouncing.
They're bouncing. So, you know, it's brought me across and end up playing there. You know, fans loved me over there. I ended up being there for 4 years.
Oh, love.
You know, so it was
that stability.
Yeah.
Was that straight 4-year contract or?
No, so that was
Yeah.
a year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And they was at the time they was run by the fans. So the club was run by the fans.
Okay.
So but yeah, so played week in, week out every single season.
What was time like that? What was that? What was life like there?
Life, you know what? It was different because National League, you know, the sponsors, the PFA packs. I weren't getting no, you know, Adidas boots and Adidas clothing. That's gone. You know,
did you have a deal before, or were you just getting sent stuff?
I was just getting sent stuff by my agent.
Oh, okay.
You know, he was just giving me just Nike stuff. I was into my Nike boots and stuff like that, so he was just sending me Nike boots when I need it, blah blah blah. You know,
what boots were you? Tempos.
I was Tempo man out. But when I was younger, I used to wear what do you call it, like Asics and all them ones.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like the Nike boots, I used to wear the what do they call it? Begins with a V. Vapors.
Vapor Max.
So I used to Vapor Max and stuff like that. I used to wear them. But I'm flat footed. So and they're narrow boots. Yeah. So you can just imagine my flat foot being in there and just sprawl out. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I couldn't do that. I couldn't do them anymore.
I remember one time I bought boots. Mind you, I played centre back.
Yeah.
But I wanted to be with the in crowd.
Yes.
Yeah. So I told my dad I need some boots. So he said, "Alright, cool. Where do you want to get them from?" I was like, "Let's go Frank Johnson's in Brixton. Go get some boots." Didn't have the boots there. So remember, I don't even remember Cobra Sports that was on the high road.
Yeah,
obviously. Yeah.
White and green.
Yeah.
Come on.
So I went to go and get my boots from there. You know what I picked up? Mind you, I've got a big foot. You know, I've got a big wide foot. I think was I year 9 at the time, so probably was a year size 10, size 11. I wanted those Ronaldo boots, the silver and blue ones.
What Ronaldo boots?
With the blue and the
blue
silver.
and
blue and yellow silver.
Are you an idiot?
No, we played Kingsdale, yeah?
I wanted them as well.
Within the first half, I wanted to come off. I could feel my foot was bleeding inside the boots.
Yeah, bro.
But you know when you ride it? You know when you ride it?
No, but they're too tight, bro.
It was like I was when I was running, I was proper like that.
Yeah, bro, they're tight, you know. There's like certain boots you have to understand.
That's where peer pressure gets you. Because I wanted to be in. I didn't want to wear the black Umbro boots. Didn't want to wear those.
The Copas.
No, didn't want to wear those. Didn't want to wear the Nikes, there were TM pods, but I'm thinking, they're too basic. I need style.
No, I hear you.
I hear you.
But you know what?
But you gonna mash up your foot for it though.
I hear you because you know what it was. I used to see man in the style and pattern, and I think, man. But I used to think about myself, like I'm not that guy, cause like I used to play up front. But I was like the second striker, so I was like, I'm not that guy, cause so I was kind of happy in a black boot. I remember. My dad bought me a pair of Lotto.
Okay, yes.
Because I was Italian off. I was Roberto Baggio off.
Oh, yes.
So he got me like a Lotto or something. I was like, these are the cream. cookies and the cream. The leather was soft. Like, it was all about the leather them times. Yeah. Like, the kids talk now about how soft the boots are. Yeah. I'm talking about, I remember seeing a pair of white Valsport when I was 16. Man. And I was like, oh my God, I need those in my life.
Yeah.
I need those. Yeah. And then I started to think realistically, but then they're going to look like a brownie doo-doo look.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
After
a while with the mud, like, so it's not really...
Them grassroots pitches, no. You're not on carpet.
It's not really going to work.
You're not on carpet. So you said, so go on, from there, being at Ebbsfleet for the 4 years.
Yeah, 4 years. So
sorry to cut you. How did the Kidderminster move? Being 4 years down in Essex
to now going
to go Birmingham.
Yeah. Because obviously you've done your 4 years at Ebbsfleet.
Yeah.
That's gone well. You've done that.
Sorry to correct you before people get mad. Ebbsfleet's in Kent.
Sorry, Kent. Yeah, Kent. It is.
You know, it's odd.
But it's odd.
But it's just off the bridge.
Yeah, it is.
Just off the bridge. But you know something, man? No, it's not Essex. It's not Essex. It's Kent.
Corrected.
Corrected.
Corrected. Yes, I've been corrected.
Yeah. But no, obviously, like at Ebbsfleet at the time, same again. Got relegated and then promoted. From Conference South back into the conference. So obviously done that again. Done that bounce again. And then I think it was where with Ebbsfleet, it wasn't pushing me any further. It was like it was just there, and I wasn't going any further.
You felt like you was plateauing.
Yeah, and then when we was in the National League, we was fighting relegation again and stuff like that. So I thought to myself, you know what, I've got to move on. And then, I can't remember how Kidderminster come about, but it must have been my agent or got a phone call, whatnot, and said, you know, can you go up there? And at the manager, it was Steve Burke at the manager. And I was like, yeah, sure. You know, I'll go up there.
Was this after Ebbsfleet said they weren't going to renew? They weren't going to give you...
No, I decided to... I decided to move on myself.
Okay. And where were Kidderminster at this time?
Kidderminster was in the National League, but they were doing well. Yeah, they were doing well. So I think they just missed out, like in the playoffs or whatever.
Is that when? Because I watched a podcast and Leon Knight said he was there.
No, Leon Knight was before me.
He was before you?
He was before me.
Okay.
Yeah, he was before me.
Okay. Because he said he had to breeze with a little bag of money still.
He breezed with a bag of money at every single club.
Man said he had to leave with a little bag of money.
He took money from every single club. It's a tuck shop.
Yeah, man. Tuck shop. Yeah.
Yeah. So went up to Kidderminster, and my wife now was with me at the time, so she decided to relocate. I move up there. So we lived in Birmingham. So we lived in Birmingham. Kidderminster was only like 30 minutes away off there anyway. Okay. So we was there. I was there playing, you know, week in, week out with them. And we was doing very well in the league. You know, that year we ended up finishing second, but only out by a point. You know, only out by a point. It was against Mansfield. So Mansfield got promoted that year. And it went down to the last game of the season, you know, when we was talking about with the Man United and Man City last game of the season.
The
tightest.
Yeah.
Same thing with us, you know. And it was one of those ones where we knew in the playoffs, Mansfield was playing against, who was it? Wrexham. Yeah, they was playing against Wrexham last game of the season. And we was playing like Southport, who was already relegated.
Okay.
So, and Wrexham was in the playoffs already, but Wrexham, because they knew they was secure in playoffs, they played all the young boys.
Yeah.
So they didn't put their full squad out. Yeah. And then you have Mansfield with their full squad playing. So then we're like, okay, what's the odds on that? So then obviously we won our game.
Yeah.
And they won their game. So obviously they got promoted. You know, we finished second. Point gap. And we're in the playoff.
Yeah.
And then who we have in the playoffs? Wrexham. Wrexham in the playoffs in the next week or so. Yeah.
Right.
So you could just imagine all our players, the first teamers, are exhausted from the game previously.
Of course.
And you have the Wrexham players who's all rested. So then you just know what the story's going to be like, innit? We get into the game. Wrexham just batters us over 2 legs.
Yeah.
You know, like the fatigue and the tiredness just shown
Over the season.
You know, of the season. And then that was that. And didn't renew my contract at Kidderminster, and then decided to come back down south, and got picked up by Boreham Wood.
Yeah. Okay.
Boreham Wood. So the manager there was Ian Allenson.
Okay. So was it like semi-pro?
Semi-pro. So Conference
Still
South.
the same.
Conference South. Conference South.
Yeah. Conference.
Yeah, there was Conference South.
Oh, they were below, yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
They were Conference South. And the assistant was Luke Garrard. And they obviously Luke Garrard was a player as well. He was at Swindon the year before I was there.
Okay.
So he knew of me and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And we played against Boreham Wood when I was at Edfleet.
Okay.
So they knew what.
So they knew
I scored against them as well and everything like that. So we played in the league.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he picked me up from there.
CV strong.
And exactly.
Yeah.
Mate, you said it.
Just with CV strong. So when they see that on their desk, they're like,
yeah.
I picked that up real quick. Yeah. Okay.
So
I remember him.
So yeah, Boreham Wood was there. I was there, signed the contract.
Yeah.
Went to train in the afternoon and done the yo-yo test. And I fully ruptured my Achilles tendon. First day of pre-season training.
They train on 3G, don't they?
3G.
Yeah.
3G. So I went from grass training on 3G.
3G, yeah.
And so as I
Fully
pushed
ruptured.
off, fully ruptured. And we weren't even going that fast. It was like level 20, you know, and all of a sudden I pushed off and heard a bang.
Fast, you know?
Yeah, heard a bang. And all the players have gone past. I'm just on the floor, but I didn't know what happened. So I'm just lying there on the floor thinking, what's happened? I'm looking behind me if someone's kicked me or if I've kicked a cone or anything like that. And sat there, physio came running onto me, and she said, she knew straight away what it was, but she didn't say anything to me. So she said, could you try and stand up? So I was like, okay, cool. So it was on my left leg, so I stood up on my right. As I stood up on my right, I was like, cool. As I was putting my foot down with my left, I felt like I was on a hill. You know what I mean? But my foot was, but my foot was flat to the ground. But I felt like I was on my tiptoes. Yeah. And I just went, nah. So I just sat back down, and then like the players and that carried me in and blah blah blah, and then she just said to me straight away, I think you've done your Achilles. So I was like, okay, cool. In the back of my, I'm thinking, I've just signed a contract. Like, what's gonna happen? I've never had this serious injury before. I've never had an injury like this in my life. So gone to A&E, got X-rayed or whatnot, and it was like, you fully ruptured it. So I was like, okay. So I was like, what's the next step? What do I do next? So there was like, NHS was, we'll operate it. You'll be in a cast for 8 to 9 weeks. And then from there, you start getting physio or whatever. So I was like, cool. So then Boreham Wood was like, go private because PFA, you're still a member of the PFA and stuff like that. So I went privately in ankle and foot clinic in St. John's Wood. So I was there, and they obviously they'd done the x-ray, whatever. So the guy, the surgeon, John, like, love him, man. He was a good guy, man, you know. I told him what the NHS said. And he just looked at me and went, "What?" He's like, "No. We'll have the operation. You'll be in a cast for 2 weeks, and then you'll be in a boot cast, and then you could do physiotherapy that they would move it, take it out of the boot, move it up and down, get it moving, and put it back in the boot."
Like a little jelly bone.
Because
it's a flimsy bone.
Because he was like, well, you do it with NHS. Your calf muscles are going to shrink, so you're going to have to work extra hard on getting your calf muscles back, you know, all those muscles, and you're still active and stuff like that. So, and I was like, cool, sold. Best decision ever. Best decision ever, I'm sold. So, you know, the quickest way to me to get back into football. I'm in.
Just
let me know. Show me the room. Where's the room? I'll be there.
Then the knife's there. Put me to sleep.
It's fine. So, literally, done the operation. You know, I just got like a nice thin line, and you couldn't tell at all. You know what I mean? And done out for 2 weeks. Well, in the cast, housebound. That was probably the worst feeling ever.
I can imagine.
Worst feeling ever. You can't do nothing. You know what I mean? Just the simple things. Just going up to get a drink from the fridge.
Oh, you weren't allowed to put pressure on the boot?
No, I wasn't in the boot. I was in a cast.
Oh, cast. Sorry,
I was in a cast. But I'm on crutches.
Yeah.
I'm on crutches. So imagine you trying to open a fridge on crutches, carry a drink, trying to get on crutches. Yeah, it was long. It was a myth for me. You know what I mean? And that there, you had to set your mind, and you had to have a different mindset.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Of how am I gonna get through this?
Yeah.
I had to accept it and make it heal for itself before I could start. You know what I mean? Don't rush it, as he said. Don't try and rush it. You know what I mean? It's a marathon, not a sprint. Of
course.
At the end of the day, you know. But yeah, then I started walking within probably a month and a half. So I managed to get on the boot cast, and I started getting the feeling of it and started walking, blah blah blah. And whilst I was there, as I was doing the physio, that's when the coaching role came along at Bournemouth. You know, they said, as you're getting on your feet, would you like to do coaching as well as you're here?
Decent.
And obviously, because they're still paying my wages, so they want to get something out of me,
of course.
at the same time.
Slightly.
So
Smart way.
you know what I mean? That little small print.
Yeah.
You know,
Very smart.
Yeah.
Very smart.
Yeah. So I agreed. I said, you know what? Yeah, I don't mind that. You know what I mean? Give back to, you know, the young ones coming through. And it was 16 to 19-year-olds as well.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, so it was a bit where I started my scholar, you know, and tried to push them to where they need to be at, or, you know what I mean? What to do and what not to do. You know, that's what I wanted to be.
Yeah.
You know, and yeah, so then finished that season off. So towards the end of the season, I started playing reserve team with Bournemouth, and within the third game, Ian Allison was like to the physio, yeah, I think Shakes is ready. I think he's ready. Come back to the first team. I want him back in the first team. You know, she's like, no. It was like, no. I want him in because he's doing well with reserves. You know, I played 30 minutes one week, 60 minutes, and then 75. So he's like, cool.
He's ready now.
He's ready.
He's ready now.
So came back, played in it was the Heart Senior Cup at the time.
Okay.
Against Watford at home, and I came on, you know, done well, whatever. So he's like, cool, ready. So signed again following season. So they signed me again. So, you know, they was like, cool, we're gonna give you a chance another year.
Yeah.
You know, so it was one of them ones where signed it, came on, started doing the pre-season again, came to the yo-yo test. So that there was a mental thing now, where, okay, I did it same time, you know what I mean? It might happen again. Yeah. That's where I had to be mentally strong. I thought, you know what, just get through this, you know what I mean? And I mean, even the coaches and the physio staff could see the nerves in my face. Yeah. Like, see me overthinking things. Yeah. And they're like, no, just go. Just don't overthink. Just go for it. Yeah. So I was like, cool. Done well. Just smashed it out of the park. Yeah. You know? And then from that, I played every single game, every minute of every game that year, and got promoted. So, you know what I mean?
So now you're back in National League.
Yeah. I'm back in the National League. You know what I mean? So that was a big bounce back. 100%. Big bounce back. You know what I mean? 100%. Missing 8 to 9 months of the season, the following season. Yeah. And playing every single minute. Yeah. It was crazy. 100%. And then getting promoted in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's big.
Crazy, you know what I mean? You'll never expect that. And you know, as they say, you know, the worst injuries you can have is your ACL and your Achilles.
Yes.
You know.
Big facts.
And some people don't bounce back from that. No. And they say from you to bounce back from that, yes, you're something special. Yeah. You know, you're one of how many people to do that. Yeah. You know,
it's the truth though. It's a mindset as well.
Yeah, 100%. You know, and you know, obviously, first year with Bournemouth in the National League, it was a struggle. Yeah, you know, with relegation in a relegation battle.
Yeah.
Okay. And I was like, no, we're not doing this again. I'm not getting relegated. I can't have that on my CV again. Yeah. Like 3 times. Yeah. No. So I was like, come on, boys, we've got to do this. We're coming out of it. So the last 3 games, we've won 3 games and came out of it. Right. You know, it's quite good, you know. Yes. The following year, we finished like mid-table. Yeah. And then the year after that, we got into the playoffs year and got to the playoff finals and managed to play at Wembley. So, you know, tick that off my list.
Definitely put that on your CV.
Yeah. But you know that,
Played at Wembley in the playoff finals against Tranmere. Yeah. And they beat us 2-1.
Okay.
That year, so obviously they got promoted. and then the following year after that, it wasn't the same.
Yeah,
it wasn't the same. You know what I mean? Like the players we lost and stuff like that.
I was just about to say you're gonna lose players.
Yeah, of course, get in there. Yeah,
yeah. You know what I mean? You
start to fizzle out and that.
Get lost and get sold and bought from other teams. So, you know, we had all that, and then
you just start to fizzle out.
Yeah, start to fizzle out, and then but within that, that's when I started playing for Guyana. So national team.
Two internationals.
Yeah, so now I've swapped over to Guyana now.
Yeah.
And playing in the World Cup qualifiers.
But how did that switch happen?
Yeah.
See that, so with that switch, I was playing, so I'll jump back a bit. So I was playing for like my last season at Ep5.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Faisal Khan, he was like an agent at the time. Like a South London agent, stuff like that. But he was part of the Guyanese Federation.
Okay.
So he just came up to me after the Ep5 game and said, you know, I know that you've played for Trinidad, blah, 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 but, you know, it's been 4 years past now at the time. And he said, would you want to come play for Guyana? Because obviously that's where my dad's from. So I was like, okay, well, if that's an opportunity, if there's an opportunity for me and I can jump ship, then cool, I'll do it. Yeah. World Cup qualifiers.
Why not?
Why not?
Yeah.
So managed to come across. They played over here against Cray Wanderers at Dulwich Hamlet ground.
Okay.
So I trained with the first team and played, and then obviously the manager at the time liked me and said, "Cool, want you in the get you in the squad and stuff in and around the squad."
Yeah.
So I managed to make 13 appearances for them. So I managed to play like Costa Rica, El Salvador, Mexico, Bermuda, Barbados, St. Vincent. Played against Colombia when we was over there, you know, and these were traveling whole man away. Yeah. So I would have never thought I would have been going to Central America, South American teams, you know, playing against Mexico, 90,000 people watching.
What's it at the
Aztec?
Aztec.
Aztec
ground.
Hostile,
you know ground there.
Yeah, right? Very hostile. You know, I'm playing.
You can't even breathe.
Yeah.
Exactly. Playing against Hernandez. I know you're a Man United supporter.
Of course,
so
come on.
Playing against
Chicharito and them man there.
Man. You know, Chicharito. You know,
was Carlos Vela in there?
No, he weren't there.
No.
Salcido.
No. I didn't say anything.
But yeah, Salcido playing and stuff like that. You know, and obviously managed to get pictures after the game, and got Salcido's shirt because I was playing right wing, he was playing left back. So so that was a good experience.
Of course,
90,000 watching, mad.
Crazy.
But as you said, hostile. Yeah. But I wouldn't even say that was hostile. It was when I was playing against El Salvador.
Yeah, that's real South.
Yes,
yeah,
that must be mad.
Close.
And that was only like 50,000 watching, but it was crazy because as we were talking about with the racism and stuff like that, it's
them man ain't playing that.
Yeah.
So we was like, whoa, like a Caribbean country going on there. Yeah. What's it gonna be like? So as I stepped out on the pitch, the stadium, it just had like a cage, like the fans are behind cages, fences, and it's swarmed all the way around. And I'm like looking to myself, wow, what have I got myself into? And I'm seeing like police around with all guns and everything, like just standing up, just posting up. I'm like, wow, this is
different.
This is different part of the world. You know what I mean? You think you're like, okay, I know I'm from South London, Brixton and that, but I haven't seen it like
I'm not
this.
seeing these big guns like this. This is some big guns there.
Yeah, exactly.
Some big guns.
You know, but it was all good experience at the end of the day. You know what I mean? 100%. Like we drew 3-3, and even their fans started clapping us and like cheering for us and everything like that.
Yeah, I love
so
that.
you know, it went from thinking it's going to be a bad experience to a great experience. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they're applauding us off the pitch and stuff like that. So. Yeah, it was good, man. It was a good, and then obviously at Boreham Wood, where I'm coming towards the end of my career now, and I decided to finish up.
Okay.
Or
just pack it in like that.
Yeah, pack it in. You know what I mean? And obviously, I was expecting another little one at the time, as well, and it was just one of those where I made a decision where, okay, I'm injury free. Let me just go enjoy with my kids now.
Yeah.
Makes sense. And everyone was like, oh, would you go into coaching? I'm like, I just want a whole gap from football. Yeah. A whole break from football. That football head's got to have a little rest.
Yeah.
Maybe come back to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But right about now, I haven't had a break. You know what I mean? I haven't had a Boxing Day. I haven't had a good Christmas.
20 years.
You know what I mean? So it's one of those where I haven't had a good Christmas. I haven't had a good Boxing Day.
You got to go into training on Christmas. Yeah.
All those
playing
things.
Boxing Day and that.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? You have all those things what you have to, prioritize where, you can't do certain things. Obviously, you got to be ready and alert for the game and stuff like that. Where, as you have your family enjoying their food and everything like that, I'm just looking at the food and picking.
Can't even eat too much.
Yeah, exactly. I can't have too much plantain. I can't put that on there. I can't too much roast chicken. I can't put that. Little things, But I tell you what, though, when it comes Boxing Day and after the game, and I come home,
I'm living the
I'm
life.
going in.
I'm living the life.
Going in.
I'm living the
Trust
life.
me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I get that.
It's one of those ones. But other than that, that was just it for me,
So when you look at your career, is there, before I even say that, is there anything you would have done different in your approach to maybe a club that you signed for, or just yourself in general in terms of how you?
I like that, sir.
Yeah.
I like that question, sir. I do like that question, sir. Yeah.
No,
yeah. I mean, see, he always pushes it over the boat, mate.
You know what I mean?
He always pushes it over the boat, mate. You know what I mean?
I know, he didn't even stay level headed.
You know what I mean? I'm just trying to give him a compliment, you know what I mean?
But is there anything you would have done different?
Yeah, you know what? There's probably a few things where I think when I was at Swindon, I think having the courage to speak up a bit more. Because I was always the quiet one. I was always quiet, just let things go and everything. You know what I mean? And obviously, if something really hits the fan, then I'll say something. I think them little things need to be spoken about, or where, why am I not in the team or anything like that? You know what I mean? Or you say it once and then you're still seeing the cycle. And then you think to yourself, nah, I've got to step in now. And not leaving it up to your agent. You know what I mean? You got to step in as a player. Because sometimes half of these managers don't like agents. They don't like dealing with agents.
And I think that's why certain players hide behind that, because they know that agents can be a bit difficult.
Yes.
So let him ask the difficult question rather than me.
But you know what I mean? I feel if I asked a question, I think it could have gone a different situation. You know what I mean? It would have gone a different way.
But like what we were saying before when we was talking about the Spurs situation and Danny Rose.
Yes.
So that's a player going in, trying to stand his ground. But like we both said,
yes,
it's always your approach.
Yes.
How you go about it.
Yes, there's a way.
It's just your approach.
It's your approach,
So if you're coming into a room and your approach is always, your back's already up.
Yes.
Just like Danny Rose's, his back was already up. So in his back being already up, he was already going to be
They marked him. He's marked him.
He's already
knows what's coming.
Yeah, he's already going to argue with him. So it's always your approach to how you deal with that manager.
And that's what I was going to ask in terms of what would you encourage a young Ricky Shakes to, if he's in that situation, would you encourage him to speak up or?
Yeah, you know what? You can.
Again, is it the approach on how you go about it?
As we said, you can speak up, but it's the way you approach. It's the way you bring yourself or conduct yourself, as I put it. You greet the guy as sir or manager or
boss,
gaffer
or
boss.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't just go straight into it like, oh, so what's the problem? Like, you know what I mean? Those little things where, I'm playing well, so what's the problem? Like, there's little things where you got.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
No. Listen, I'm just speaking of a conversation the other day.
You have to gauge it.
Because if you look at just in life in general, and you're just working in, I don't know, you're working in Gap or whatever, and you come to your boss like that, it's the same outlook. It's the same outlook. So, I know sometimes when you're young, you don't really know much, or but try to think back or write things down. You know what I mean?
I think it's when you're young, you find it hard to articulate yourself.
Yes.
And put words across in a way that you feel, not even that you can, but just a way that you feel that would get across to someone else that's older than you, more mature than you.
Yes.
Do you know? Because you don't want to. You get me? I don't know that I just went to the manager's looking at you like, Nah, son.
Yes.
Nah, son. So it's just the way that you're gonna carry yourself when you come to them.
I think it's a two-way thing, though. I think it is personally because
you remember who I am.
Yeah. No. I don't get that.
As the manager, the manager.
Yeah. I know that.
Remember who I am.
Yeah.
Remember
but
that.
then at the same time, it's just like when we spoke in last thing. I think there's a duty of care because you can't. Not saying you can't. You can, but it's like you've now boosted him up to a point, and then fair enough. The manager's well within his right not to pick him, or not to give him what he's been giving him, but. Yeah. Don't leave him in the lurch. At least there's got to be some sort of
discussion.
Even if
there has to be.
I want to put him in because we're losing points, and right now you're good technically, but just inexperienced. I don't think you can just don't blank out the kid.
No, but
again, it builds the frustration in the kid.
To be fair, you saying that, and it's a great point. It's so. If everybody within an academy system or even grassroots system understood that. It would make it easy for every kid. Because it's only a discussion. Yeah. So, for an example, I've played 8 games for the season. All of a sudden, I'm out of maybe the cup game, a big game.
Yeah.
But I'm not being told, and the explanation might be, I'm not running enough.
Yeah.
But you pay me for 8 games.
Yeah.
So now all of a sudden, we're playing in the cup, and now you're telling me I'm not running enough.
But you could have told me this in training at least.
What?
Yeah. Why the day of the game or you put out a team and I'm excited because I've just played 8 games.
Yeah. So I've got a thought pattern.
Two-way thing.
So I've got a thought pattern that I might be playing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now all of a sudden you're saying, boy, you're not doing enough.
Yeah.
So hold on. So it's a give and take.
Yes.
And it's about how, like you did say, it's their well-being. And I do say that. And you're right there. It's their well-being because I always say it's mindset.
Yeah.
So if you mess with a boy's mindset, you're gonna mess with his football.
Of course.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Definitely.
Like, and that's 100% true.
And you're gonna unearth something that didn't need to be unearthed. It didn't need to be channeled.
Yeah.
If there was just an explanation, a conversation being made.
Yeah.
What I'm saying.
100%.
So that's my stance on that.
No, I get
100%. That's my stance on that.
I get you.
But through your, as you said, 20-year career, playing for Guyana, playing for Trinidad and Tobago, Bolton, Jay-Jay Okocha, Swindon, Brentford,
Bury,
your experience at Bury, Ep5,
Boreham
Boreham Wood, where you finished off.
Yeah.
What would your advice be to a 16?
Yeah, I was going to say that.
What would your advice be to a 16-year-old Ricky Shakes? Who's about to...
So remember, the 16-year-old Ricky Shakes we're talking about is a boy, number 1, that's never come out of Brixton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's gone into the academy
situation. He's going up to Bolton.
Yeah.
He's in a new situation, wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
What would you tell that kid?
You know what? I think just keep your head down and buckle down. You know, listen to the coaches, because at the end of the day, the coaches, that's what will get you far. You know, by you listening and taking notes, because remember, the coaches, they're playing a sort of structure what they're used to. And if you don't, I wouldn't say obey, but I mean, if you're not playing, fit in, or you know what I mean, if you're not fitting alongside the system, what they're doing, then you're going to make it hard for yourself.
Yeah.
You know, where you can try to do things, but then with a little spin off it, if you know what I mean, where you're doing certain things, keeping the basics or whatever, but then when it's time to shine in the moments. Shine in their moments, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you're doing the basics for the manager. Because the manager can say, you know, when he moves on to the reserve team manager or the first team manager, you know, because it all starts from the top. So the way how the first team are playing, it's going to be the way how the academy are playing. Yeah. So
anyway,
So if you're not fitting in the guidelines of how the first team are playing in the under 17s, 18s, then they're not going to look at you like that. You know, they're going to, the academy manager, the academy director or the reserve team manager will say, okay, that young 16-year-old, you know what? He's listened to everything. he's playing how we want to play and everything. So when I push you into the first team, you just gel straight in. You fit right in. You know what I mean? Because you already know the basics already. You know?
Yeah.
And as obviously at the time, Sam Allardyce was there, and they see me going into the first team, and they see me already know the basics of what he wants to do or his plan, then it will get you far. It'll get you far. And then in the long run, where say you got released or whatever like that, you have other managers of saying, oh, so what's, you know, Leon, for instance. Oh, so what's Leon like? Oh, you know what? He listens to instructions. You know, he knows the game plan. He knows the play. You know, he'll get you on it. Or you have like a Derek where, you know what? Nah, he doesn't listen to instructions. He just wants to do his own thing. Word spreads. And everything like that. Exactly. As you said, word spreads. Word spreads, you know, managers' words spread. And that could be the only difference by you not making it further, you know, because managers always talk. Always talk. You know, they will talk to each other and they would always want to know, oh, so what's that player like? What's this player like? Oh, so why did he leave? Why did you release him? Or, oh, how comes he got bought? Like, what's he been doing well? You have all those little things. You know, it's a what do you call it? What would you call it? A reference. It's like a reference. You know, that's what managers doing. The managers are giving you a reference without you even knowing. That's what it is. You know, and that's what I'll say to the young ones.
That makes sense.
No, that's a brilliant.
I appreciate that, Ricky. Rick, appreciate you coming down. Thank you. Stories was immense there, boy.
Trust me.
Like two national teams there. Not many can say that. Not many can say that.
Just to finish off, I just wanted to obviously, I brought a little something for you, lot.
Oh, what?
Right. Man's getting presents and that.
Yo.
I thought, you know, because I'm finishing off. I finished off.
See, man, that's the frame that I put that on the wall.
Man has to take one of these.
Man, that's the frame that I put that on the wall. So you look at that.
Shakes.
Know the thing.
But thanks for having me on there, boys.
Come on,
man, appreciate it. Come on, man.
And all the best for your future endeavours.
100%.
Family life, always important.
Definitely.
And if you do get back into football coaching, you know, we need more black coaches, more black representatives at the high end, not just agents, executives, everything.
Of course.
Trust me.
Definitely.
Support you all the way, man. Really appreciate that. Chronicles of Football podcast. Follow us on all socials. Please subscribe.
Follow all of that.
All of that
like all of that. You know, all of that good stuff.
All of that stuff.
Yeah, comment all that. All that good stuff. Yeah.
Make sure you subscribe. Follow us and all that, as I just said.
What's wrong with him? He's doubling up on himself. Listen,
just making them
get your subscription.
Someone just come in. Subscribe. But big up yourself. Big up the father, myself,
Jayna.
Yeah. #COF. Stay blessed. Fragrance man in the building.
I'm just about to say the cologne.
The cologne.
I got identified as being quite good very early. I got picked up by West Ham. That West Ham team was special, man. They didn't lose for 7 years. Rob Hall, Blair Turgott, Matthias Finimo, Jack Powell, Dan Potts, Dylan Tombads. No, they just had ballers everywhere. During that process, Millwall came in for me. They just offered a contract straight away. So when I first went to Millwall, they tried playing me as a centre back. That didn't end too well. I should have got released from the club for what I did, to be fair. So then they moved me to centre mid. So at first it was
black and quick.
Yeah. So then in midfield I was Patrick Vieira. It was play like Patrick Vieira. No coaching, by the way. You just go out there and play. I have no idea what he does. But coming to 13s now, position changed again to a striker. We're from ends. Like when you play ball, you're playing in the cage, on the concrete. It's all about tight. Who's got the maddest skills? Quick book. Yeah, they're lost in training a little bit. But on match days, forget about it. 13 years old, stamp on the defender's toes, and if you need to, grab his nuts. Then Chelsea, Arsenal, Reading, Spurs came in. They want to offer me a 2-year extension, a 1-year scholar, and a 2-year pro. The beginning of my second year, I went away with the first team, made my debut. I remember doing a madness to Danny Shitter in training. Paul Robinson, the club captain, multiple occasions, to the point where man are saying, yo, you got to be on the bench this weekend. called a meeting with Kenny Jackett. I was like, what's going on? Am I getting a new contract? Am I staying? If I'm not going to play, I want to leave. I got 2 months pay, but it was a mutual termination. I signed for a team in the Swedish Prem. The first day I landed, I collapsed. I just remember the doctors basically saying I had a heart attack. And they're like, no, your heart stopped. Your heart stopped for 15 minutes.